Hi, Allison. Welcome. You're the first person here. Hi. Miss Davis is currently not here. She's on her way though, so hopefully she'll join us maybe in another 15 minutes or so. Hi, Lenny. Happy Sunday to you as well. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Tony Ann Dietrich, real estate agent, and normally I'm here with my mom, Claudia Davis. She will be joining us, but she's running just a tad bit late today. She had to, work before she comes here today, so that's why she's running a bit late. But she will be here maybe in another 15 to 20 minutes or so. So, in the meantime, you have me all to yourself. So if you want to ask me anything about real estate, finance, or anything else, please go ahead and we can just have a bit of chit chat before she comes in. Yes, solo for now, Kay. Solo for now. Hi, Malika Mason. Good afternoon. Catrice, hi. I don't think I've ever been on live by myself before. It's a little bit strange not having someone here to talk to. Oh, here's a question. Question: if I have development land in a rural area, what infrastructure am I required to put in for sale? Well, it really depends. If it is that you're trying to create a residential development for persons, then you would be required, if you're giving them under 5,000 square feet of land, you'll need to give them sewage, light, and potable water. If it is that you're giving them and drivable roads, if it is that you're giving them farmland, then you just need road access, I believe, and electricity. Hi, Hope. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. Good evening, Carol. But if it is that you just want to, GG4, if you want to just sell the raw land without doing any infrastructure, you can. You can just put up the land for sale, and then whoever purchases it from you can go ahead and do all the infrastructure work and then resell it to purchasers. Lenny wants to know, is it a bad idea to cut into the land with retaining walls to build a long house on a sloping lot? Well, Lenny, this question is out of my depth. I'm not into construction. I'd have to leave that one for Miss Davis to answer. Any more questions, anyone? Or you can tell me what you've been up to this week. Out of many says, no question. Just want to say hello. Haven't seen you on Mom on in a while. One love. Out of many, we've been here for 6 weeks now. This is our 6th week. Yeah, we've been here. Kay wants to know, how's the hurricane treating you? I have actually seen no signs of the hurricane. It's been pretty sunny here in Kingston. However, I was in Clarendon yesterday and there was a lot of rain. A lot of rain. We drove the toll and there was so much rain. So much rain. I couldn't believe there was so much rain on the toll. So when I left Spanish Town, no rain. Hit the toll, poured with rain the entire way. And then when I landed in Clarendon, there was no rain. And the same on the reverse. 2 hours later, I was returning. Again, no rain. And then a toll, rain, rain, rain. And then by the time I landed in Kingston, there was no rain. So for the most part, I haven't been feeling any effects of the hurricane. Maybe later this week, we'll see more of it, but hopefully not. Even though the rains may help my cucumbers, I have some cucumbers growing and they're struggling in this weather. So hopefully the rains this week will help them to grow better. Here's another question. Divinity 7 says, what is the best thing to invest in to make money apart from real estate? Well, I'm a bit biased. So I would definitely say real estate. But another thing is the other best thing to invest in would probably be your own product. For example, if it is you're trying to, let me give you an ideal product. Persons who write courses online or books, online books, or even novels or technical books. You write that once, so you invest the time once, then you put it up for sale, and then if it's a good book, then it keeps selling over and over and over and over again, and you can make royalties from that. So that's something good to invest in as well. Um, Another thing you can invest in is your personal education. Allison says, Tony, do you know anything about VMBS no longer doing joint financing with NHT anymore? No, I did not hear of that. Why is VMBS no longer doing joint financing with NHT? I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Was that news this week that came up? Let me see if I see anything on it. I'm not seeing anything. Was this a news report? I'm not seeing anything about it. I'm not seeing anything about that, Allison. If you have a link or if you saw an article or anything, please share it with the group because I haven't heard about that. I'm not sure what the reason would be why VMBS would not want to do joint financing with NHT because all the other banks do it. All right. Somebody was asking me another question. Automany says, let me correct what I was anyway. So I couldn't log on. Have a good weekend. Have a good weekend. All right, G said, what about REITs? I think that's real estate investment trust, if I remember correctly. Yes, you can invest in those options. They are good options for person who wants to invest in real estate without doing any of the day-to-day hard work in and of itself instead of building your own real estate, renting your own real estate, etc. So yes, personally though, um, I like the idea of owning my own property and controlling what I do with it. When you invest in a real estate investment trust, you don't really have that option. You're putting your money in and trusting that someone else is gonna do what they're supposed to do, and then you're to reap the reward out of it. So it is a good option for passive income for those who wants to go that route. But personally, for me, I like the hard work of real estate because I know the value of personally owning real estate and having control over the real estate that you own. For me, it's not just about having the paper asset or having the cash. When you own real estate, whether for yourself or like what we do here in our family, we own it together. Um, it allows everyone in the family to not only reap from it, but it also allows us to leave it to the generation behind us once we've made proper planning in a trust so that they can also reap from it. And instead of it just to being a raw paper asset that we're shuffling around in our financial portfolio, it's actually a physical asset that each family member can personally put their effort into, whether it's adding on a room or organizing to get tenants in it, or even to decide as a family to sell it to invest in something else. Personally, I love that control. I do not enjoy paper assets at all. At all. It gets me too anxious. It's like owning stocks. Kate, here's Kate. Kate says stocks are a mess right now. Red's bad because folks that lease it buying real estate. Projection are that commercial real estate will fall even more. Market fall. Yes, I have heard that the market is falling. Personally, I'm not into commercial real estate, but I'm mostly on the residential real estate side, whether for my own properties or for clients. And that market seems to be doing pretty well. But I am aware that usually when real estate starts to fall, it's usually the higher end starts to fall first, which usually includes the commercial properties. So I am looking out for it and trying to safeguard against it for my own personal properties. But we'll see how it goes. Hi, Monica. Yes, I'm here by myself right now, but Miss Davis will be joining us. I'm going to give her maybe about 10 minutes or so. I heard that she arrived, so I'm just giving her time to get sorted so that she can log on as well. But imagine me here 2 hours talking to myself. I don't think I could do it. Having mom here is a really good person to talk, dialogue with, talk back and forth with, and just having her here makes the entire program more fun for me, and I'm sure certainly for you as well. Allison says, my loan officer is telling me that I have to go to NHT and sign there, but I'm overseas. Oh, your loan officer from VMBS is telling that you have to go to NHT and sign. But Allison, you can also use a power of attorney. NHT's website have a power of attorney form, and you can allow someone to fill out the power. You can fill out the power of attorney, send it to Jamaica, and have them have it stamped. There's 2 places, I believe, 3 places it has to be stamped. Right. So first, also, once you print out this form from NHT, you have to get it signed and notarized where you are in the States or Canada, right? By a notary. Then you send a document to Jamaica. And then the person who you're giving the authority to, the power of attorney to, whether it be a mom, sister, or friend, they will need to now take it to a couple of places. I believe first one is the stamp office, then the birth certificate office, and then to the titles office. Once it comes from those 3 places, they're going to do a stamp on it. Then that person can go to NHT and act in your authority, basically, and get and sign the NHT documents on your behalf. Monica says, you're doing a good job. Thank you. Maxine says, good evening. Claudia can talk, man. Yes, she can. She's very good at talking. But I think with my mom, she has such a wealth of information when it comes to not only real estate from her own personal experience, but through her job, that she understands the value and the importance of passing that information on to someone else who is less knowledgeable, someone who needs the information but don't know yet that they need the information or how important that information is. So every time she interacts with someone, she tries to let them know a little bit more about the real estate and share her stories because she's very passionate about it. And she knows that by passing this information on to the next person, it can help them make a positive change in their life. Because trust me, like owning real estate for yourself together as a family can only be a positive thing for you now, basically for having somewhere to live, or even for investment so that down the road you're not suffering. Because you imagine getting to age 70, 80, and don't have any real estate of your own or together as a family. There's a real possible chance of homelessness at this point. And personally, I wouldn't want anyone to be in that situation. So if you're someone like my mom who understands that she was put out at age 15 and living on the streets for a while, how important it is to own somewhere, then yeah, I'd be a talker too, I'd talk about real estate all day, every day to someone who will listen. Wow, there's 40 of you online already. Wow, everybody's early. Very early. I'm impressed. Normally, I don't have this good turnout at 60 minutes in. It's usually like an hour later. Mom, you ready to join us? Still getting ready? Still getting ready. Kay says, yes, doing real estate as a family is a great plan. Yes, it is, because the truth is, um, when you're in a family setting, it's so much better to get things done, and it's easier to get things done. Because imagine you by yourself just trying to purchase that first property. But if you just say, Mom, let's buy this together, because maybe mom didn't have the opportunity to buy her own real estate. And my mom says, yes, let me join with you and we'll buy it together, right? And that's a start for you. And then if you have kids later on, that's a start for them. Right now, we're selling the Palmetto Pines development, which is a land development in St. Catherine off Johns Road. And I have to say, a lot of the families who have come to me on a Saturday to talk about purchasing real estate, they're coming together. I've seen sons come with mothers, fathers come with daughters, brothers and sisters coming together. And I'm like, yes, our message of purchasing together and getting started together is actually working, because people are turning up together to purchase. I was there one weekend and a mother and daughter turned up, right? And they were looking to buy. And the next thing you know, she called her brother, right? And her brother-in-law, and he brought her sister, and they were there and they both chose lots. And I was like, yeah, look at that, families working together. Oh, I have a few more questions. Zoe says, hi, Tony. Taking a quick break at work to say happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, Zoe. Thanks for joining us. Kay says, Tony, it's hard there. It's ego, jealousy, and straight bad mind. Yes, there is. And we do have a mentality in our society where it's everyone for himself. That's kind of sad that we don't think that we should work together as a family. Because I mean, the truth and reality is, in Jamaica, we do have a lot of disjointed families, not just from one parent being absent for whatever reason, but obviously there's migration as well. And so there isn't that cohesiveness or that grow together, build together mentality in our society. But I'm hoping that with each generation that comes along, we will try to change that stigma that we have in Jamaican families and learn to work together. Cheesy says, want to get two investment properties, have one in prime area, but don't want to be over leveraged and get over my head. Cheesy, and what kind of investment property you want? You looking to do something for long-term rentals or short-term rentals? What is it you're trying to do? Kay says, that's why every other race doing better, because they pass on strong family structure and bond. Yes, Kay, that is so right. They pass it on. Everybody in the family knows their role. You know that grandma is there to help to teach some tradition, right? Mom and dad is there to help bring in the current income, right? Everybody know that they're to help with the raising of the smaller children. Everybody know that they have to work together. In some other cultures, everybody still live together as well. But I have hope for Jamaica. I have seen a change in just in my real estate dealings where families are coming together to purchase real estate more. I'm not hearing the conversation of can't work with him, or I have to do it by myself, or I don't have nobody. I'm hearing those conversations less. I'm hearing people reach out to their families overseas and say, let's do this together. I'm hearing persons saying, let's help mom and dad buy a property. Mom, you're here.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm continue, Tony. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm so sorry to be late. I'm driving in from the North Coast. Started a little bit late because of a lot of things going on. But I'm glad to be here to spend another 2 hours with you. So, Tony, you were saying?
Right. I'm saying that even though there is a lot of bad mind and jealousy going on, I think Jamaican families are learning a little bit more to work together because in my real estate work here, I am actually seeing small changes where people are coming together to purchase.
But one of the challenges that we have, everybody, you're only as strong as your leader, really. So even if it's a church, if it's a business, your household needs a leader. Everybody cannot be a leader, right? Now, naturally, we would say the leader would be the parent, correct? Whether that be mother or father, these days it can be either. Usually it would have been the man. But because of evolving into all kinds of things here now, that can be anybody who's an adult in the house. You must have a leader. You must have a leader who has a vision, leader with the passion, the drive, leader with the motivation to take this family out of the struggles and to put them in a different environment or a different space. But what happens is that everybody wants to be a leader. That's not possible, guys. Everybody wants to be a leader. So everybody wants to do it. Oh, me want to do my own thing. Really? Me want to do my own thing. And guess what? You step out, you move out, you go and do your own thing, Nobody not chase you out like how them chase out me. But you step out and you're gone. Then you have to come back because you can't pay the rent.
Can't make it alone.
Yeah. And you leave your mother, your father, your younger brother and sister, them, everybody in the struggle. And you come back in the tenement house, the board house, the house where I pop down. Because you say you step out, you gotta make life. And you still don't make it. The truth is, nobody can make it on their own. There's a saying, no man is an island, and that's true. And what you all don't seem to realize, but I realized it really early. I mean, the same Bible that we talk about every day. And I know a lot of you here are Christians and you went to church this morning. I didn't go to church actually, because I'm doing a construction, trying to finish a house that I hand over. So that's where I was this morning. But when Jesus came on earth, he actually went and got some disciples. How many did he get? Was it 12?
Yeah.
He went and got 12 disciples. Why do you think that was? Because he couldn't do it by himself.
Right, couldn't help to spread the word.
Yeah, whatever his purpose was here. He couldn't do it by himself. So, and yet he did have the Judas in the park. That's the truth. He have the Judas in the park. Fine. But he knows that the Judas would have been at the park, but he never met that stop him. His purpose here was to come spread the word of good and what needs to be done and all of that. And him getting 12 disciples beside him. So those of you who think, oh, I can just go do this by my own. You need to rethink that. You need people around you. So whether it be your blood relatives, whether it be friends, whatever it is, but you're going to need a team. Mm-hmm. You're going to need a team. You cannot do it on your own. All right? The things that you can do on your own is where you're just born. When you just come on earth, the creator makes sure those things working. So you can eat some food, you can see, you understand?
Can't walk.
You can walk. Those things you have to do on your own. But when it comes to other things, you need people. And even walking, I had to teach I taught my two daughters how to walk. I never wait on them. I teach them how to walk. I taught my two grandsons how to walk. I didn't wait on them. I taught them how to walk. Some things you're gonna need somebody to teach you.
You know,
so you have to get together.
All the way to the park yesterday by himself.
He did.
Yeah, no stroller.
No stroller. Okay.
Getting stronger.
Getting stronger, right. And he's 14 months?
I think so.
14 months. I see him downstairs with his ball, playing ball, saying ball and throwing the ball. So everybody,
okay.
I hear about the bad mind and I hear all of that. But guess what? All of that has to do with the leader. How does a leader position himself or herself in this family? How does a leader deal with things when they occur? In other words, people will be people. So fighting are going to happen like Xander and Xavier fighting will happen. So Xander will have a toy Xavier wants it, or Xavier will have a toy Xander wants it. Then I say, Xander, Xavier had it first, so you have to go and find something else to play with. I don't take away the toy from Xavier and give it to Xander, or vice versa. That's leadership. You have to lead from the front. You understand what I'm saying? You have to make decisions as the leader. Some decisions they're not going to like. Like when I tell my two daughters, both of you will not drive. You will not drive because you may drive and then you end up being a liability to this family. Because one drives too fast and one drives too slow. So Tony and your drives too slow. She's on the road at 5 miles per hour. I said, no. And Rachel is doing 100 per hour and is a learner driver. I said, no. You two are going to be a liability. Therefore, I'm going to hire drivers, right? Or to take the JUTC bus. Yeah, that was a decision me as a leader had to make, right? Now, maybe as I get older, they might get into it, but right now, no. You have to understand that the leader, you're only as strong as your leader. Them say you're only as strong as your weakest link, which yes is also true, but it's the leader's responsibility to ensure that the weakest link becomes strong. So again, it goes back to the leader. So the leader of the country, the leader of the church, the leader of the school, the leader of your household must be strong. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you are going to survive. And that's the only way you're not going to survive and thrive and be successful. Everything depends on the leader. No. Yes, I talk about the leader, but what about the followers? Some of the followers, them are the problem too. Them sabotage the plan.
That's it. They don't recognize that they're supposed to be a follower.
Right. It's so I said, let me give you another example. I said to my two daughters, listen, none of you must accept any credit card when these credit cards come in the mail or them called up on the phone or anything. Absolutely not. My daughter tell me, Rachel have a credit card. I'm like, are you serious? No, weak link. So I have to now step in, say, what is the balance on the card? How much you spend already? Okay, this is what you're going to do now. You're going to pay this every month until the card is finished. It don't make sense to cut up the card because she can still use the card online because she know the number she can use online. So you still have the card, but I say you freeze all spending on this card now. No more spending on the card. And this is monthly money that you're going to pay every month until it's finished. Now, as a leader now, I go have to follow that up. Either me follow it up or I delegate somebody to follow it up.
So you can't just cancel the card?
You can cancel it, but the balance is still there.
Right. So is it better to just cancel it and then continue to pay the balance?
No, but you still have to have some discipline to know what it is you're to use the card for. Right? Card is not for consumer items, which at this age and stage, you tend to want to buy a whole heap of things that don't make no sense. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You just can't help yourself. So you may as well just remove the problem from yourself. You know, it's like when you're drunk and hungry, just starting, your hormones are raging, you see a man on a bike and you want to run on the bike back with him, man. All the parents are saying, no, that you're going to meet everything, low camp, you know, all this cause.
Yeah,
Same,
young.
yeah, you're young. Same thing, right?
Mhm.
So everybody, the leader, so you're a good leader, you must have good followers. So those of you in the household who are the followers, you must also be good followers. Good followers. So if your parents said to you, say, if you're going to go to a party, you need to let me know where it is, who you're going with, what time you're going, what time you're getting in. You need to do all of that as a follower. It says to you, I need the name and the number of the people you're going with. And all of what I'm telling you is what I do. Who is picking you up? XYZ. Am I dropping you at the location? Yes. And what time am I picking you up? And where is the designated pickup? And I also, as a caveat, I say, if you say you're going to this restaurant on a date, and your date says, okay, we don't like you, so let us leave. Under no circumstances are you to leave. You are to remain there. Call your mother and say, Mom, come for me. That's it. That's the rule. You must be a good follower, right? That way, everybody can be in harmony, right? What you all don't understand is that usually the leader has the experience and the exposure. The experience only comes with age. It don't come with youngness. So when your
Or
young friend them,
intelligence.
yeah, when your young friend them are tell you, say, oh man, you can't go down there, some man are not now up now, whatever. Really? You want to listen to the experienced voice. That's what you want to listen to. When your young friend them say, oh, I could buy a car, man. You have $1 million, I could buy a car. And your mother say, no, buy a piece of land. Or make a add on to the house. Or whatever, whatever. You listen to experience. It only comes with age. Now, wisdom is another thing that will and can come with age, but not all the time. Some persons are old, but they're not wise, right? So that's where you now need to understand how to balance this, right? But guys, leadership, followers, important. Both sides are important. And as leaders, when you find a pack of followers not doing what they're supposed to do, you have to go use your leadership rein and draw them in. So you can't be the leader in the household, like you say. Everybody must be home by 6 p.m. And you have one kid that drop through the door 8 o'clock every day, and you don't do something about it. That's what we call being a leader.
Lenny had a question earlier. Says, is this a bad idea to cut into the land with retaining walls to build a longhouse on a sloping plot?
If the land is sloping, you need to build a retaining wall. I would have said first, because I didn't build my retaining wall first. But if you have enough solid land above that, you can start building fine. But at some point, you're going to have to build a retaining wall, especially if you're not on rock stone, if you're on loose soil. If you're on rock stone, you can't get away with it.
So when he says to build a longhouse, what does it mean? Like a longhouse on one level?
Long house, he probably thinks long meaning left to right, or cut into the land front to back. So if you're going front to back, the back is usually where the slope is.
Mm-hmm.
So you build a retaining wall. And if you build a retaining wall, I would suggest you build stone walls. Tried and true, proven. Get a stone mason. Old, my stone masons are like 80 years old.
Well, they're not that old.
Natty is supposed to be about that now. And Natty still a broke stone. The man them a broke stone from them young. So that's what I'm talking about. Experience. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Right through Jamaica, we have stone wall, we make up gully. And them not tear away. Right? You got Chancery Hall. What was the name again? Chancery Hall, Smoky Vale, Sterling Castle, you name it, stone wall at 30 feet, 40 feet up in the sky. Nah, tumble. You have the experience. So if you're going to do a retaining wall, I seriously suggest you do a stone wall, not a block and steel wall.
Taste of Jamaica says, "Hi, how easy it is for a Jamaican to buy land and build in Jamaica from the UK."
Easy enough if you have the right professionals.
Mm-hmm.
So you buy the land, you get your surveyor, of course, before you even buy the land, get a surveyor to survey the land. These are the pegs. You look at the land, so important. Um, you check out the area too. So another thing you do if you're not familiar with the area. You go in the area, you drive, you stop at the shop, you ask question.
Remember, the person is from the UK.
Yeah, so them have a visit. You can't blind. You have a visit or you have somebody here,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Or you know the area.
Or you know the area already. And you actually like some persons are bad at Palmetto Pines, they know the area. They know St. John's Road, that's where them from. But you do that. You have surveyor too that's gonna show you the boundaries of the land, the pegs, to make sure nobody has encroached or breached, and to make sure you know the boundaries of the land, right? Then you get your architect now or your draftsman to do the design, put it through the parish council. When that's approved, then you get your builders. But I should caution you, a lot of you like to hire builders, you hire the mason and so on. You need somebody to manage a project. You need a project manager to manage the project, right? It's a project manager when you send the funds to go and pay the men and so. And when the men not doing what they're supposed to do, then fire them and get somebody else. I have to fire people all the time, right? Um, you fire them and get somebody else. But that's what you would need. But a lot of you build and do have a project person on the site. So you're just relying on the mason um to build this house and everything is all right. But remember, the mason is a mason, not a plumber, not an electrician, none of that. So the project manager, the person managing the project, will know when to call in the electrician to do something, when to call in the plumber to do something, when the roof must go up and coordinate the whole of that logistics. Go and do the shopping too. So go and buy the block and the steel, check off, make sure say the mason has said 10,000, we're now 5,000 block in the feet. All those things happen, right? Um, so that's how you manage the project. But you don't have any management in place. When we talk about leadership, everything need a leader. No. Things with leaders though, leaders have to be hands-on and there. You can't be a leader from a distance. That's another thing. So if you're the head of a household, your household cannot be in Jamaica, you there foreign. Then you're no longer the leader. You would need to somebody else would now have to step in to be the leader. You understand, Tony?
Yeah.
So you might be sending the money, but you're not the leader. Because a leader encompasses way more than just sending money. A leader have to make decisions day to day on the ground. And you can't do that from a distance. So just like her, which is why one of the things when I started coming up, I always knew I was not going to be in no long distance relationship with no man.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me. He has to be on the ground. I have to get up every morning and see. If that's not gonna happen, then no, forget it. Not me. Not doing the phone call thing and the email thing and the FaceTime and the this now. You have to be there. When a decision needs to be made, you have to be there. Can't absent. Same thing with anything that's important.
Mm-hmm.
I found you cannot be absent. The second you turn your back,
Mm-hmm.
something goes wrong. You can't be absent, right? You have to be on the ground. So if it's important, if your family is important to you, you have to be there. So if you decide to go to the States, everybody go to the States with you. You decide to go Ghana, everybody must go with you. You can't leave your family here and you're gone. You're gonna have a problem. The story I was talking about, I heard her saying it earlier. You're talking about what, migration.
Migration.
Hmm.
And sometimes you have to leave because you get to work and you have to get to that and come back.
Yeah, but when you come out, it's not the family again.
No,
Who has experienced that? You leave the island and you're gone for how much months or even years and you come back. You're like, them people are my family. You don't even know them. Them behave different. Them just go on different. Them act as if them not love you. You know, and I mean, who experience that? You leave and go and come back and your family.
Dwayne wants to know, Tony, which rental investment do you prefer, long term or short term Airbnb, and explain? I prefer long term. I do not enjoy short term rentals at all. I prefer long term because once you find a good tenant who can afford your rent and the space you're providing is comfortable, you basically don't have to do any extra work and you just collect your money. With the short term rentals, it involves a lot of hand holding. Every 2-3 days, there's a new guest with new personalities and new challenges that you have to interface with. And usually, the guest is not familiar with Jamaica, so you have to do a little bit more hand holding to make sure everything is perfect, that their experience is nice, etc., etc. And I personally don't enjoy all that hand holding. I like to just have a good tenant, put them in, collect my money. If they leave after a year, I find another good tenant and I redo that again. I don't like the constant day-to-day working with a cleaner, working with guest relation type activities, those sort of things. I know, like, for me, short term is not it. I've done it, and that's why I know that I would probably not do it again.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Remember we had to go to Trenchtown? We had a guest who wanted to go to Trenchtown.
I mean, I've never been to Trenchtown before this acting. I was at a guest who wanted to go to Devon House. I'd never been to, not Devon House. They wanted to go to Bob Marley Museum. I'd never been to Bob Marley Museum before that experience. So
it's just a lot.
Yeah.
You kind of have to be ready to come out of your comfort zone. You have to be ready to be texting all the time at night because these guests are on the platforms. And they're going to be texting. You have a time frame within which you need to respond. And the Airbnb is your boss, kind of thing. Because if you don't respond in time or you don't do this in time, you get a bad review. You might get dropped off on the platform, and you're constantly in a state of, what is it? It's not readiness. That's not the word I'm looking for. But you're constantly on the edge.
You're constantly at work.
Yeah, because you have to maintain the standards, right? Also, too, you have to be very meticulous with the cleaning. So when we did Airbnb, we did short-term rentals. You have to walk behind the cleaners, literally. You
can't just leave the cleaner to their own devices.
No, you have to walk behind them. But you have to make sure you have your finger touch across every surface, because this is the thing with the Airbnb guests. Everything have to spotless.
I know I've had guests complain about dust behind TV.
Yeah. And then a man come in and smoke up all kind of ganja and sit down.
We had to basically fumigate, take out all the curtains, all the soft furnishings, everything. It's just a whole heap of work that if you enjoy that type of interaction and stuff, it's nice and the money's nice. But I like more relaxed activities. So long term for me, definitely.
And you have to have more than one Airbnb for it to be profitable, because the truth is, you have your Airbnb. You might have 20 days where you get bookings, 10 you don't. Then you have the AC bill to pay, right? You have the utility bills. That's a killer. The utility, the water, they may leave on the pump running. How much days you never even know. And then the thing is, once you're checking out, you have to be on spot, or you have to have a very good person who is on spot to check out, because it will damage things and leave it. You just put in some brand new sheets and towels and whatever, and them dye it up and mess it up. But to be really profitable, I think you need more than one.
You need like a little villa.
Yeah, you need like a little villa. So
it's at least 3 units or more.
Yeah, when we did that, we had more than 3 units. And we had them at one place too. So we could manage that better. But just imagine you have one up the road, down the road, downtown, uptown. You're going to need a team. That's the truth. You need a team. You alone can't do it. So if it's just one place you have, you're probably better off with a long-term tenant who will pay their own utilities, cut their own yard, fix anything up to what we have on our contracts, about 15,000.
Yeah, 15,000.
Right. So any little, suppose a pipe burst costs 15,000, then can't fix that. You know.
Or you give it to one of those companies that manage Airbnbs fully.
Yeah. The only annoying thing I don't really like about long-term tenants, well, Tony handles it now, not me. They lose their key.
Yes, they
lose
do.
a key, and they think you're a locksmith. You know, that's Tony. You need to put in the contract. They lose a key. They call a locksmith. Well, and then she don't drive, so she calls me at these hours of the night. Oh, mom, person lose a key. You have a drive go. I mean, I'm like, come on. So you have to put it in the contract. I don't know if she put it in there yet.
I haven't, but what happened is we rent to a certain age group, so I feel like I have to bother them just a little bit to get them settled.
To lose them key?
No, but
is that mothering? That's not mothering. I'm sure that's sleep on the door.
Sometimes when they come to us, it's the first time they're being on their own.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, so certain things they don't know yet.
They don't know yet. Okay. Yeah. Always after being there maybe 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years, that's when they get seasoned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they call me less.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing with the long-term tenants is that the longer they're there now. So if it's a couple, the longer they're there, the more now they might fight, quarrel enough. The neighbors know calling. You have to interact. Like a neighbor called me and said, "Oh, I think that your tenant stole my planting off my tree." I said, "My tenant, them not cut off my planting off my tree. Them can afford planting. I mean, them can afford my rent. Them can afford planting." I actually had a tree in the yard too that somebody did cut the planting, and I told her, I said, "I cut down my planting tree because somebody came in there and cut the planting. So to avoid the nuisance, I just cut down the tree, you know, and tell Rambo, who's my handyman, I said, Rambo, they go every root. I don't want nothing shoot." So he did that. So that solved the problem. But that's not what you get now. So long-term tenants know, bring some level of familiarity, and the neighbors know any little thing that tenant does, the neighbor's gonna call you, right? Airbnb people not in there long enough to annoy a neighbor.
Oh, they can.
They can sometimes, but they're not in there long enough for it to be a lasting nuisance. Mm-hmm. So like when she called me about the planting, it was actually the second time that they were taking planting. So they're not there long enough. You know, some tenants will play them really loud and what kind of things. So if the long-term tenants are there long enough to annoy your neighbor get mad and call you. Short-term tenants not there long enough for it to be a permanent nuisance. So they may come in one night and play the music loud. They must smoke ganja. All these things. They must chat loud the whole night. You know, so by tomorrow that tenant gone. Mm-hmm. So those are little nuances. But that's Tony say, if you like guest relations, talking to people all the time. So like now I'm getting that a lot now with Palmetto Pines. I have to be answering a lot of persons on my WhatsApp because they're coming through the Facebook, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm getting a lot of that now. So that's kind of guest relations too. But it's not really guest relations where I have to get up and go and the washing machine break down or the water gone, the pump not working. You ever find somebody once, what happened to us? The water heater went down. The solar water heater burst. And it was a holiday. Remember? We had to go there.
And it was one of those fancy faucets where if there's not equal pressure from hot and cold, the faucet
don't work in the shower. So Tony and I actually, it had to be the plumber. Couldn't find a plumber for work on the holiday. Mm-hmm. We had to go there and go fix it. Them kind of things that can be very annoying. So you have to just figure out if you're up to it and how much money you really want to make and so on.
I mean, Airbnb money is nice, but there's some work involved.
Right. And I should tell you that Airbnb now takes out the taxes too. Mm-hmm. So you have to factor that in. Airbnb, like Google, now take out the taxes. So you have to factor that in too. They withhold the taxes.
What I like about my long-term tenants is that I have basically rent for 12 months. With the Airbnb, there's gonna be maybe a month or two that there's just no income coming in.
Yeah, you're fluctuating, and it can be edgy.
Yeah, and like we
Whereas if
had,
you have mortgage and so on,
and like
can
when
be
we
very
had
nerve-wracking.
pandemic, I mean, some of those places were just empty.
Empty in the pandemic.
I mean, during pandemic, I still had tenants.
Yeah, we never went through pandemic like that. It was a market we're in, but we never went through it like that. But definitely the short term people felt it because there were just nobody coming in.
Yeah, there was no vacation.
Yeah. So it have its ups and downs. You have to weigh what it is that you want to achieve from it. What I can tell you, like any other rental, one rental don't make money. You need multiple. Um, you need multiple rentals, whether you're in short term or in long term. You need to have multiple rentals, multiple tenants. That's how you're going to do that as a business. One rental is not a business. One rental is just a hobby. It's just something that you have a space and you rent it. That's not a business. If you want to do it as a business, you will need to have multiple, right? Like quadruplex, sixplex, a whole apartment building.
I know, like I look at the ones in Canada and the property management companies, they have like 15 stories worth of building rented out.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, let's get to
business.
that.
Yeah, that's business. That's business. All right, where are we? Any more questions?
Quite a few. What's the best way to get a house? Is it through a real estate agent?
Depends. What kind of house you're looking? I can tell you, real estate agents in Jamaica tend to be a little bit, to look for a property for a buyer can be sticky because we don't have that much inventory. That's a problem with buyers, the buyer side of the market. They struggle because they don't have a lot of houses to choose from. If you have three, you have enough, so you have to choose one.
Yeah, and choose it quick too.
And choose it quick before it gone.
Lenny says any half acre to 3/4 acre flat land on the north coast areas with sea views around 8 to 9 million.
Lenny,
3/4 acres of land flat with a sea view for 9 million. That does not exist.
Lenny, you're dreaming.
That does not exist.
Might be up in the hills. No, we can't say that. Maybe up in the hills, Lenny, but when you reach up there, you say no. You're gonna say too far.
If up in the hills, is it gonna be flat?
Well, flat lands up in the hills of Draxal, but you still can't see the sea on the flat one then.
Right, that is it.
No, somebody we can't see, but you're gonna pay about 200,000 now for one of those. That's 30 million. 9 million don't exist on the north coast anymore. Unless you go down to Trelawney. You might get lucky in Trelawney, yeah, but not in St. Anne. You might get lucky on the other end of St. Mary too, like Oracabessa, Boscobel, those places. Because we actually have a Boscobel with a peak view of the sea for 7.5 million.
But that's not flat.
But that's
flat at
the front.
Enough
at the front. But still, if you want to see, you have to go to split level. Well, yeah. So, or you do a 3-story up to see it. But you're not in St. Anne. Forget St. Anne. St. Anne gone on top now. Yeah, you'd have to be up in the bush. Trelawney, you might still get it.
Yeah, but we're in Trelawney.
Like that place that you got for the client. At when you turn left there, someone I had to go this bad road.
You mean at 15 million?
Was it 15 million to pay for it?
Yeah.
No, man, not that one, man. The one I looked at first, man. And the lady sent her brother to look at it.
Oh.
Forget to that place and name.
Oh, but that road was a dusty.
The road was bad. I don't remember the name. But you might can get 9 million in Trelawney. But if you get it in St. Anne, you're not going to want to live there.
It's going to be way up.
Way up in a Davistown and the next town up is the name. Way up. Question? I need to jump into my presentation. Yeah. I'll do that at 4.
Quite a few. Angela says, good day. Just wanted to find out, why does a Jamaican bank increase your mortgage if it is fixed? Is this possible?
It's not fixed. Mortgages here are variable. Go back and read your contract.
Might be fixed for a period though, don't it?
Yeah. Read the contract.
Sophie agrees credit cards are a bad idea for those of us
in retail therapy. Like my daughter, Rachel. She ever hear me, but we have to ban her seriously. And everybody goes through the phase, eh?
Yeah,
when
I
you're
think
young,
it's just
right?
her face though.
Yeah, but you have to draw. You have to read in that team.
Dwight says, "Hi guys, got a house in Jamaica. Yay!
Yeah.
Also, payment my NHT for over 3 years. What benefit I can get from the NHT?
You can do home improvement, but not right now.
But I don't understand.
15
He bought
years.
the house through NHT, or is he got the house independently and now paying NHT for over 3 years?
Maybe paid NHT for 3 years, so you can get home improvement loan 2.5.
Right.
NHT have a portal now, 3.5 now, July 1. NHT, they have a portal. Go on the website, nht.gov.jm, and register to sign up. And then go back in and log in. And you will see everything on your account right there in front of you. Game changer.
It's called NHT Online. To log on. Kendrick says hi. Staffy says good afternoon. Kendrick says NHT Online pre-approval isn't for people abroad. I found out. Oh no, it's not.
It's not? Why? What does that mean? Maybe they just don't get to that grouping yet.
Yeah, because I know they're still working on self-employed in Jamaica.
Maybe they don't get here yet, but I'm sure it's gonna be there.
Staffy says NHT have announced new scheme in Westmoreland, 1 bedroom for 12.5 million, and people already are cuss. Should people stop cuss and accept reality as nothing is changing?
Of course. What's the point in cussing? Who are you quarreling with anyway?
I don't know.
Because you can't walk up to NHT people and quarrel with the staff. Certainly. It's just a reality of the price of things in product, Jamaica. Yeah. The price of the sand, gravel, block, steel, the price of the land, and so on. That's just a reality. 12.5 million for a 1 bedroom house. We're selling Palmetto Pine 6.5, and it will cost you the same 6 million for a bill. The 1 bedroom
house.
So if they can afford the 12.5, just go buy it. Nothing is changing. When I was buying my house in Spanish Town for 175,000, seems to me that cost a year.
You were?
Yeah, 175,000 a year. I couldn't afford it. Jane turned me down. NHT turned me down. Victoria Mutual turned me down. Everybody turned me down.
Oh, so you're only cussing because you couldn't afford it, not because the price was unreasonable.
They are only cussing because they cannot afford it. That's the only reason. Because who can afford it is going to just back out the money and go and buy it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. They're only quarreling. You have to get resourceful. And that's what our topic is this evening. Right? It's not about quarreling. There's a famous lady who said, don't get mad, get even. Somebody tell me who. Donald Trump. Well,
his ex-wife.
His ex-wife. And she said, don't get mad, get evil, go and go buy 5 of them.
Lenny had said it was front to back, land slopes upwards. Oh, upwards. Quite steep, 40 feet upwards. Oh, yeah. So he wants to cut down the entire land.
You can't cut down the entire land. Cut yourself a driveway and get in. It's a bitch. And I probably sell back that doing 40 feet. Oh, high was Cooper's Hill. It was high. It was more about 25 feet. You ever cut yourself a driveway and get in? And the driveway can't straighten either. It sounds like the driveway there for a turn on an angle like this, going like this. Okay. Instead of going straight.
Kendrick, Sophie says, yes, Kendrick, also self-employed Jamaicans can't utilize the NHG approval process. I just found out last week, right? They're still working
on self-employed.
Herman says, so true, leaders. Wish I was a good leader. But you can train yourself.
You can train yourself. You have born leaders, but you can train yourself, right? Part of the challenge with Jamaican society is, I think, the school system dumbed down the leadership in the kids too early. In other words, I'm teaching them to conform, squat, sit there, don't move, line up here, son, don't move, you talk too much, don't talk. I you see me talking. them kind of dumb it down, Leadership qualities come in you naturally. You're born with it. And you can see it from a child. A child who is always, nobody don't even tell them to do nothing. Them just move towards it. You know? Those are born leaders. The natural leader will stand out. In any classroom, in a group of 30 children, if you observe them long enough, you will see the natural born leader standing out. The same thing in your household. The household don't necessarily have to be the mother or the father who is a leader. If there are adult children there, they can also take up a leadership role once they can lead well.
Like I've seen that with clients.
Right, but it's important to have the leader. Leader has to be there. Like that young man who came with his mother, it's obvious that him is a leader. And him is a strong leader, right?
Yeah.
Ms. D, why does guttering not come on new development? It will cost approximately 200K. Should this be a priority when I'm moving along with a water tank? Developers are mean, should be standard.
I love when now new homeowners say that.
Safi, first of all, understand why are gutters necessary anywhere? Gutters are necessary in cold countries because when it snows and the snow starts to melt, then the gutter helps. The gutter also helps when the snow falling. The gutter will trap the snow, right? And when it starts to melt, there's an orderly process of coming off your roof, getting into the gutter and going where it's supposed to go.
Keeps the moisture off the building itself.
Right. Now, in Jamaica, we don't have that problem with snow and all of that, right? What we have is some rain. But for the most part, our eaves tend to be wide. Some 18-inch, some even 24-inch eaves. And it's a rainfall. Now, I would say gutter if you want to do rainwater harvesting. If you want to do rainwater harvesting, you want it to your plants, water your plants, and so on, then yes, gutter. We have a lot of that in places like Mandeville, so persons use gutter because they're actually sending water to tanks. But if you're not doing that, then I don't know if it's necessary to spend 200,000 to put in a gutter.
You should put in a water tank.
But you should put in a standby water tank. And it depends how much you pay for your house. Developers are mean, should be standard. How much you pay for your house? You buy a Camelot for 17 million and then quarrel saying I get a top side. Or you buy one of the one bedroom in Westmoreland for 12.5 million and then you say I get the top, not even that 3 them not give me.
I know, but what happened is you look at places like Richmond where you get two fruit trees, you get your perimeter fencing on your property.
You get interlocking bricks.
I think you get gutters, don't it?
No, gutter is addition.
Gutter is addition, right? So even that have addition. But you get your landscaping.
But you're paying 400,000 US too.
Yeah.
You forget to tell the people that. You're paying 400,000 US. So you're getting $60 million worth of building, 3 beds. You have to determine how far up the ladder you want to be.
Right. I think anybody who's buying something for under 25 mil needs to know that you're gonna have to do some work when you get this property. Yeah, you're just gonna have to do some work. And the thing is, you already got the property. Do it over time. The most important part is done. You got the property.
Right.
There's still people who are trying to get properties.
I want to keep it real too, because if you buy a property for 100,000 in Jamaica, is that 15 million? Yes. So what can 100,000 get you in Canada, in the States, in England? What is 100,000 going to get you? So the 100,000, 100,000, or 120,000 will get you a Camelot, or 110,000, something like a Gorbil, or over Phoenix, where you get a source of 2-bed, 2 bath, or 2-bed, 1 bath. You get dirt around your house. You get
4,000 square feet of land.
You get to a concrete driveway. Like my one steep like I want can't drive up it. You get a concrete driveway. You get basics inside the house. You get nothing outside. So what will equivalent? Somebody tells me, you live in Canada, you live in England, you live in Europe, you live in the US. What will 100,000 US get you? Can it get you in a gated community with 2 bedroom, 2 bath? Because that's all Camelot give now. Gated, 2 bed, 2 bath. Can it get that? With security at the gate to hold up the gate for you? Somebody tell me, what does it get you? The Portland property, no update yet. Still waiting on NAA. What's the cheapest a land on sold for in Jamaica for housing? Don't understand the question, Edward.
What's the cheapest a land can sell for in Jamaica? Oh, so they're asking what's the cheapest a residential lot can be sold for?
Depends on the location. So Maypen is one of the cheapest areas.
Somebody said, Claudia, the 100,000 is a down payment.
So 100,000 a down payment. So I bet you take the 100,000 back. Oh, I come a lot and lock it up and wait. You don't even put that tenant tonight. What? Good afternoon, Miss Davis and Tony. And no, I just answered that one. What is the ideal number of rented units per property? So if you don't understand that.
No, for you to make a good income, I guess profits.
You need at least a fourplex.
Yeah.
At least 4 people paying your rent.
Yeah.
On the same building.
Yeah.
All right, scroll down. But I have lots of those in the States. Fourplex, sixplex. Richest man in Rich Dad Poor Dad talks about those a lot. What's the next question? I have 5 acres of land. No, cheesy. You need to answer cheesy.
Best way to get a second property financing wise if you are a single person.
That one is rough. I found that out the hard way. You have to join with somebody. As a single person, second financing. All right. So you can use a rent, but only if the place rented already. So you can't go to the bank and say, oh, I see this house at Portmore and I know I can't get 50,000 in rent. So yes, it can cover the mortgage. No. Them not speculate with you. You are speculate. You have to have the tenant already, and you can use the tenant income rental as part of your income. A lot of banks only take 50% of that income. So if a tenant paying you 50,000, them only got add 25,000 to it.
Okay.
Right? So as a single person, best way to get a second property financing if you're a single person. Listen, get the single person thing out of your brain. Not going up very far.
Remember, but not all partnerships have to be romantic ones either.
Right.
In terms of real estate.
Right. That's why I said get that single thing out of your brain. I remember I did one where I said, it said, if you want to go slow, go alone. I don't know if you were here cheesy when I did it. Who was here when I did it? If you want to go fast, go alone. Somebody finish a sentence, please, in the chat. I did it about 2 or 3 weeks ago. There's another part to that sentence. So I give you the first part. If you want to go slow, go alone.
You want to go fast, go
Stop
alone.
it, no man. Well, wait, man, the people I'm putting in the chat.
I was just repeating what you said.
No, I said if you want to go slow, go alone.
Oh.
What's the second part of it? Somebody tell me in the chat. All right, I'm waiting on it.
Raphaelia says, I have 5 acres of land that is ocean view in Clarendon. I want to sell a 1/4 acre. How much is that going for now?
Perfect.
No, but
you have 5 acres, so why you don't want to sell 1/4 acre?
Have
Do a proper subdivision. Do a proper subdivision plan.
So somebody answer here, if you want to go far, go together.
Right. You need more of you. You need more people cheesy with you. Because you want to go far, you're here to talk about financing second property. So you want to move in an investment stage. But doing it alone for your second property, I think I was up to my 3rd property before I went with somebody else and other people. And I'm still investing with other people. So I might not invest with the same group of people all the time. I just move around. But you can probably get to your 2nd or 3rd. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do the second. I'm going to do the second one.
But your first property was joint?
No. Yeah, my first property, yeah. But remember, so Richard wasn't paying the mortgage. I was me alone. He just co-signed the loan.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's all it takes.
Somebody for co-sign the loan. That's why I said you have to find somebody with her. I'm going to find somebody with you. Either that or you're very good at earning more money. So the more money you earn is the more you can borrow. So you have to look at that side too. How fast can I raise my earnings?
And you have to have a business that does cash flow. It can't be you putting in more of your time to earn this money.
Yeah, but she might be employed. So overtime don't count. But you can switch job too. You can be in this job paying you 100,000 and switch job to 200,000, you can get more loan.
Yeah.
So that's a strategy you can look at too. Can I change my job? See if I can earn more, you know. Raphael, we're suggesting you do a proper subdivision. Don't just sell quarter acre land. Tony.
Yeah.
You want to let me teach you to drive when I'm next on the island. That's Lenny for a while. Take the pressure off mom. I also train driving tutors here in the UK. Boy, Lenny, if you can get Rachel and Tony and for drive without me, I go so. I may press brakes every minute and I'll get totally crazy. Boy, Lenny, you would be good. No more than good, Lenny. You'd be great.
Yes, Lenny. I'll take you up on it.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're here.
All right. Kingston finest. Not Lenny, them two people here did all have car park up in a driveway and a drive. So you hear her attack, I'll carry them in I tell you, I never sell what carry it. You know, when I was their age, I wish somebody would have got me a car. I mean, I literally learned to drive on the fly. Because where I was renting this room. And the young lady's father got a tutor for her. I think he was charging something like $50 an hour. I said, boy, I'm not money, I can't pay $20. I said, come on. And so me learn driving up. I go with them and pay me $20. So and then them help me get my driver's license. You know that about Jamaica. And then after that, I continue till I could drive. All right, to drive. Not only school, parents to call down the pit them. Yes, parents. You have to really stop doing that, you know. One of the things, even though I was at that time a grandmother, you'll realize that these children want to, not these every picnic do it. They want to break the boundaries, right? So like Xavier here now, climbing up on the chair and then him reach up on the table and then God knows where else him plan to go after and reach the table. Right? But you watch him, in other words, you don't stop him at first. You make him figure out how he can go up on the table. Right? Mm-hmm. And then figure out that, I can use a chair as an access point to get to the table. So you don't stop him at first. You allow him, but you stand close by. Just in case, you can catch him if he's falling. That's what I want the parents to start doing. You catch them before them fall, right? But you have to give them. My second daughter Rachel says, "Mom, you have to give them the win now." So never give them the win. We said, "Richie, don't you see the kid doing that?" She says, "Mom, I have to give them the win. I can't make them lose all the time." Right?
Sometimes I can't give them the win. Like today, I saw Zanda using my dish rag, the one that I used to wash the dishes with, to wash his face. I was like, "What are you doing?"
So how did he get there?
So he was outside playing, and his face got dirty.
Right.
Obviously, he wants to clean his face.
Yeah.
He couldn't reach the rag that we have on the wash tub where he in the laundry room. So the next best thing was to come in the kitchen and reach for the one that we used to wash the
So
plate.
how did he get there? Him go up on him stool?
No, just reach for it.
I'm tall now.
Yeah, we're tall.
Yeah, so you have to give them the win. Sometimes you have to give them the win so that they know that yes, I can do this, and them feel accomplished. And you have to clap them too. So like when Zana say when they do something that's so wow, actually use him brain and do that. Like give them a clap.
Like today I saw Zana reading. So he took out his book. Now the book has lots of different toys and the kids are on the playground, right? So it has like a shovel, bicycle, swing, whatever, right? And then he points at it and he says, "I want shovel. I want swing. I want truck." Now, the words are not there. I want it, but truck, swing, and those things are there. They're like, look at him making sentences. Like, clapped him for it.
Yeah. So you have to give them the win, guys. We need to say no less. So if you say no, it is, I say stop. I don't say no, I say stop. So if I really see something that they're doing that, no, this is the one and not gonna work out, you know. Because I know the consequence, right? So like when Xavier is him going towards this plug that I don't know why these guys don't cover. He said, "Stop, Xavier, stop," you know, and he stops and he looks and he laughs and he goes back to it, right? But if you really want to stop him, then you go for him and you move him from the item and distract him with something else. Because the whole heap of no, dumb down the pit in them. After a while, them not talk.
After all, they
Them
only
not
hear no in their
interact.
brain.
In them brain, all them hear is no. And when them get older, them want to buy a house. Yeah, all them are think to themselves, no, me can't buy. No, me not have money. No. Because the no in them so much. Everything is a no. It's like every other Jamaican I talk to. Oh, but no, Miss Davis, me can't do that. No for do that. And them that's all.
And society says no a lot.
Yeah. You're gonna get no a lot. So you have to say yes. You know your brain have to say yes. Like I always say, somebody telling me no at any of these business places, I say, you're the wrong person I talk to, you know. Call the supervisor, please. And hate when I do that. Especially all them on the phone company and all them they're Tony with them. I said, Tony, just ask the supervisor. Stop wasting time. You know? Because them used to saying no. I need to get into the presentation.
Okay.
Canada, 100 is down payment. Canada, US minimum wage is pocket change. Still so context. Canada and USA minimum wage is pocket change. Any country, minimum wage is pocket change. What people need to understand is that minimum wage only feed you. If you have 2 kids plus a wife, you cannot be earning minimum wage to feed them. Minimum wage is only for you to eat food and go to work. That's it.
And you must have somewhere to live already.
Yeah, must have somewhere to live. If you want to go far, go together. Yes. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Right, Sophia? Learning, man. Which one of you should own first rental property or house? Which one you should own first? Where you live? Richest man in Babylon teach you that. Where you live? Make sure you buy a house for you to live first. Don't have to be no fabulous house. Buy what you can afford. Right? And do it early. Do it before you reach age 25. Those of you listening to me now, do that before you reach age 25. Don't wait. Once you leave university, and you get your little money and start to work, 1 year qualify with NHT, 2 years to save up some deposit or whatever else, do it. And buy, if you're those of you who can actually live at home without moving out, buy your property before you move out. Stop going live in a rent house and a catch about the place. Buy the place before you leave out. So I need to lot it out. The 5 acres it on. The hill looking in. Salt River, Jackson Bay. Oh, I don't know where that is. But if you have the 5 acres, I can send you a surveyor, engineer. What you need first a topographic survey. I just gave out one too. So you need a topographic survey first so that them can see the hills and valleys and so on. And then you get that, can go to an engineer. So you can let me know what you want to do. Who will do that? But do a subdivision. Don't just cut out a piece of land and sell people. Owning house, isn't it a liability? Well, technically, that's what Rich Dad Poor Dad says. It's a liability because you have to pay for it. But guess what?
And you live in it.
But guess what? You need to find somewhere to put your family. Raphaelia.
No, it's Harry. Owning house.
Oh, it's Harry.
A liability.
Yeah.
Is he saying it isn't a liability or asking?
Isn't it a liability?
Oh,
He's saying it is. He's asking, isn't it a liability? Yeah, it is. From a strict term that you're paying out money to keep it every month. But guess what? It brings about a certain level of contentment. And I can tell you, living in rent house don't bring that.
No, there's no joy.
There's just stress, right? So if you buy a house and you live in it with your family, everybody's taking care of it and so on, your mind is now free to go and focus on trying to find the investment property. Also remember, you can buy that house, you can do addition on the same house, and it is now a fourplex or whatever, and you can rent that. So it don't mean that the house has to be a liability forever. You can do the addition on the same house, right?
Yeah.
All right. Can group investment work in Jamaica? Perfect, Harry. It works all the time. Working right now for me. So I'm a part of a group called EcoStead. I skip one.
Malika, 8 years paying NHD, get 15 a week. What are my chances?
Your chances are pretty good. Let's check it out. We need to give me a date of birth. Give me the year you're born.
Malika.
19 what, Malika? 19 what? Tell me.
Monica, they learn to solve problems when they are part of the decision making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
Give me some book recommendation, man. Richest Man in Babylon, #1. We're going to be doing that in the book club coming up in July.
Here's the year, 1982.
1982. All right, so while Tony find that. Richest Man in Babylon. Think and Grow Rich. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Notice everything are rich in it. The Richest Man in Babylon is by Clayson, I think.
George?
Those of you who have been on your long, type this in the chat, please. You know the books that I recommend already. What year was she?
82.
Can they see the screen?
No. Let me share. One moment.
Tony's going to share the screen. Harry, you're asking me about group investment works. It can work. Again, you need a good leader. So I'm a part of a group, EcoStead. We started out on the same forum by just talking about it, asking persons to join us in a venture. And we went about Look the Land. That's the Portland project that you heard the other person asking me about. We found the land. Everybody's sending them money. We bought the land. And we are on our way. So it's that project now that person asked me, it is now being subdivided. So it is 22 acres of land in Norwich, Portland, that we're subdividing into lots for sale and for us to also own lots in the same development. Looking forward to it, just dying to get the stamp of approval. Are they seeing the screen?
Yeah.
All right, so you said you earn 15,000 weekly. You were born 1982. This is an NHT mortgage calculator that you can go on, but I don't think they change it yet. All right. So they're telling you build on own land 6.1, open market 6.1, scheme unit 6.1, service lot 4.7, house lot 2.5. House lot is going to change to 3.5 in July 1. Solar water heater 2.5. Build on own land and open market and scheme unit will change to 7.5 soon. So go back on the website when it changes and you can check to see if you would qualify. You will get a 29-year mortgage and you will get 0% interest and your monthly payment will be $21,663.34. I would say yes, there's hope for you. Once you go back to the screen, what you need to tell me is which parish you want to be in. Which parish do you work in?
Nikisha says owning also brings you equity. I hate when people say a house is a liability.
Nikisha is a liability because you're spending money. So in the strictest term, rich dad, poor dad was the one who brought up this concept. He says a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So in the strict sense, your house is taking money out of your pocket because you have to pay property taxes, you have to pay mortgage, you have to do maintenance and repairs on the property, right? Mm-hmm. So it's taking money out of your pocket. That's why he says it's a liability. Equity is of no use to you if you're not selling. Mm-hmm. Am I correct, everybody? It's of no use to you if you're not selling. Also, you may say, okay, I can use the equity and borrow, but when you borrow, you still have to pay a mortgage. So it's still a liability. That's what he means when he says it.
But with equity in Jamaica, don't you still have to prove that you can pay it based on your salary?
Yeah. Harry says, how we go about it? Save joining a group investment from abroad. All right, so my group started, me and Tony. I should say our group. There are 20 of us in that group. Is it 20 or 21? I keep mixing it up. Let us say there are 20 of us in the group. There actually are 20 of us on the group. some of the persons were in my book club. So we talked about real estate. We got to know each other. There are 20 of us, and actually only, how many of us are in Jamaica? Only 3? I think there are only 3 of us in Jamaica.
Yeah, 3.
There are only 3 of us in Jamaica. The others are between America, UK. Anybody in Canada?
I don't think so. I think just America and UK.
America and the UK. So some came in from a book club, some came in from the same YouTube live, just being on YouTube live talking and so on. You can invest with your friends first too, and your family. About your family, you know each other.
Could be just one friend too.
It can just be one friend too, right? We only invest in real estate though. I'm not into investing in stocks and those things. So we only invest in real estate. However, caveat to that, our advanced book club group, those are the persons who did the book club before, we will also be studying now stocks. So we'll be studying stocks, right? What else we studying again? Trust. That's how this is about trust fund. There's something else that we're doing. I did written down right here, and Tony, I cleared my desk and it's no longer here. But I'll remember. Somebody remind me. What did I say? We're studying 3 things. One was stocks. One was trust. Oh, we're going to be looking at the financial numbers that go with real estate. So return on investment, capital gain, how you calculate those things. We're going to be looking at that.
Malika says never take any return. So she may have CRTD.
No, she only contributed in 3 years, she said. No, 8 years.
Oh, 8 years.
Yeah, you have something called contribution refund towards deposit. Go on the website. If you're not self-employed, if you're employed, everything will be there. So go on NHG website, sign up, and then you go back in, log in, and you're going to see your eligibility letter, how much they will lend you, how much you contribute, and all of that. Right?
You can start a lesson now.
I can start. All right. Can get it. So we're going to start now, guys. It's not a lesson or Tony, it's a conversation.
We call it a lesson.
What's up blowing up with the Palmetto Pines. All right, so I need to get to that back to everybody. Somebody asked if I accept NHT. Yes, we accept NHT for the Palmetto Pines.
Mm-hmm. And then
all right, so we're just checking if you're seeing us on the screen. So we're just checking if you're seeing us on the screen.
Yes, they're seeing us.
All right. So hi everybody, I'm Claudia Davis. Those are my numbers. 2926776. I'm a real estate broker in Jamaica. So I handle sales, lease, rentals, and auctions. That's what I'm licensed to do. Tony Ann is also a real estate salesman. Her number 370-8138. Those of you who are new to the chat. She also handles sales, rentals, and leases. All right, so our quote for the week. It's not resources, but ultimately, it's not resources, but resourcefulness that ultimately makes the difference. That's Tony Robbins. Somebody tell me which word here you think is going to be the word of the week. That's Tony Robbins. So he says, it's not resources, but resourcefulness that ultimately makes a difference. Tony Robbins is onto something here. What is going to be the word of the week? Somebody tell me. Now is no time to think of what you do not have. Think of what you can do with what there is.
Sophia said resourcefulness.
Exactly, Sophia. Ernest Hemingway said that. Says, no, it's not the time to think of what you don't have. Think of what you can do with what there is. No. Persons tend to always be looking and saying, oh, I don't have this. Oh, you know, so I not have no makeup, so I can't go on YouTube live. Oh, I don't have lunch money now, so I can't go to school. You're looking at what you don't have. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Resourcefulness is what is key. There are resources all around you. Every time I read the Gleaner, somebody says in an article, oh, we don't have enough resources. Oh, we can't do that. We can't build a school. Oh, we can't pay the prime minister pay because we don't have enough money. Resources. Resources are all around you. Any country that you live in, anywhere, resources are all around you. It's your ability to take those resources and figure out what you can do with it. You have natural resources, the sun, even oxygen, free, right? Rain, land, all those are natural resources. That's all around you, right? Other resources that you're not thinking of that are all around you, people. Who agree with me? People are all around you. Those
So
are
yes.
resources.
So for example, take your hand on fashion. Make fashion.
Yeah, they can't turn fashion. Right. Resourcefulness. I found that the persons nowadays not very resourceful at all. Them just ball out, say them not have it and them can't do this or whatever. Right? But why?
I think because we live in a time where things are so easily accessible, like from your cell phone, for example, you're not thinking that there is another way. Before the cell phone, to get information was a process in and of itself.
Right.
So you really had to go and seek things. I think now things are just handed to us that people can't think anymore.
So yes, who said it was resourcefulness? Sophia?
Sophie.
Yes, Sophie. Resourcefulness. So resourcefulness is about getting things done in the face of obstacles and constraints. This means approaching what's in front of you and optimizing what you have. Whether you're making something new or just thinking about how to do something better. Right? Resourcefulness. So it's the ability to find quick and clever ways to overcome difficulties. A lot of persons allow any little obstacle to get in them way. You start to want to buy a house, and a man said to you, you go into the bank, and the man said, no, I can't get a loan, or you can't afford it. And you stop, look. Back in the day when I was buying a property, the banks did tell me no. But it's a lucky thing I never stopped looking. I never stopped. I went to every single one, sit down and can't get it. But God was so good. When I stepped into First Life and I went in there to actually seek insurance on my mother. That's why I went in there. And the gentleman, Richard Graham, who actually was talking to me about the insurance, he was the one who actually helped me and co-signed the loan. God just sent me straight to him because God realized that this girl ain't stopping. She not stopping. She walk off her foot. That's another thing you must realize, that the universe opens up and help you. But you must step forward into the universe. You must open your mouth and say what you want.
Yeah.
And you must step towards it. So there's no point in saying, oh, I want a house. Oh, I want a land. And you don't take some action and step towards it. There are persons who have sold property who call me, step towards me for the property, and they didn't have any money. We have zero in them bank account, and them name and title today. What made the difference? Them resourcefulness and their willingness to take action. Right?
Yeah.
So resourcefulness is about getting things done in the face of obstacles and constraints. This means approaching what's in front of you and optimizing what you have. You must also learn to use what you have. Persons are always looking across the road, next door. Oh, the grass green over that side there. When them people there water the grass with why it's so green. You don't look on your own lawn to see, say, You know, so them whole heap of stone there when me have to stop the grass from grow. Maybe me should have pick out the stone them out of this place. Yeah.
You don't even want to do that. You just want to bad mind the neighbor grass.
Yeah. Come on, guys. You must optimize what you have. Approach. This means approaching what's in front of you. So people are also in front of you. Some persons will have their husbands, their wives. But you're trying to buy a house, but you never ever tell the little man to you buying a house. Why? I don't want him know, Miss D. No, Miss D, I don't want him know.
Little man want a house too, you know,
Yeah.
don't approach
Not only that, you live with the man. So you have to think, right? Optimize what you have. Whether you're making something new or just thinking about how to do something better. 2, the ability to find quick and clever ways to overcome difficulty. So resourcefulness. Very, very important, guys, right? Now, resourceful, your ability to be resourceful is going to make the difference whether you succeed or not. Persons who don't succeed in a real life are not very resourceful, right?
Mm-hmm.
There will be obstacles. Nothing will be smooth. When you're born, coming through the birth canal is an obstacle. You have to push your way through there. So there will be obstacles. Obstacles, of course, are developmentally necessary. They teach kids strategy, patience, critical thinking, resilience, and resourcefulness.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I talk about my grandchildren. I've seen that when Xander was just starting to creep around the place and pull up our furniture, so we decided to bury him in. So we use a playpen, we use a chair, we use a bed, because we never want him all over the house. And who tell you if we're going to do so? That picnic would have pulled the playpen, push with the bed. Him do everything. I mean, he's not stayed. For him, that was an obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to figure out a way. One day I was sitting down. And of course, he was forcing to come out of the area same way. But we didn't want him in the kitchen. And he put on a piece of balling and him fling down himself. And him what? Don't even remember the day.
I remember.
And, you know, I see him there and says, Anna, crying is not going to help. You need to figure it out. And while him there on the floor, him balling and him hear me talking, him stop, look at me. And him look again. And he was on the floor. And it just came to him, hold on, underneath this chair is the space. And he just went right through it, you know. He has learned to be very resourceful. He's a very resourceful kid. I remember him also, I bought him some magnetic letters, put them on the fridge. When he's in his high chair, I would put 1 and 2 in front of him and give him the orientation with the letters. Anyway, I was in the country and I come home. I said, where are the letters on the fridge? Them say Xander take them down. I said, how can Xander possibly take down letters? These things are so high. How could this kid take down letters? Well, my dear people, Xander have a thing that he uses for his football goal. And it can pull up. Xander not use the helper tell him, says Xander use a stick. Mm-hmm. And just juke them off of the fridge door. Now, he has figured out how to be very, very resourceful, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't let anything get in his way, and he uses the things around him to figure out how they can help him to do what he needs to get done. Mm-hmm. Right? Like the first time I saw him with a stool. Pushing the stool to stand up, and how can him figure out I'm too short and I need the stool?
I know, it's like the other day he spilled some water in my office. Of course, I was upset.
Why you get upset about that?
So I said, clean up the place. Just run, go for the mop. I started cleaning up the place. And then when he realized I cleaned up the place though, he wanted to put the mop in the tub. Because that's where we normally have it. Yeah. And he used my office chair, push it to the tub, climb on the chair, put the mop in the tub, turn on the pipe, and say he's trying to wring out the mop.
Yeah, guys. You have to be very resourceful. And one of the things in the army, that we do obstacle courses all the time. And that's for the very same reason, to figure out how we can get around, under, over, and all of that. And that's what I have to tell you. When you set out on a path, like to buy a house or a piece of land or go to university or to get married or something, obstacles will always come in your way. It is your resourcefulness that is going to determine if you get out of this, if you go over it, under it, beside it, through it, whatever. Your resourcefulness and how you do it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is nothing in life worth doing that's going to be easy. You will always have obstacles, will always come in your way. So let's challenge your resourcefulness right now. I'm going to give you a little case study. So Anna and her husband, Tim, desires to buy a piece of land at Palmetto Pines. She checks NHT, who advises spelled wrong, that on their own, she and Tim qualifies for 3.5 million each, right? Come July 1, they will get the 3.5 million. So combined, they will get 7 million. The land price for Palmetto Pines is 6.5 million. She needs a 5% deposit of 325,000, and the closing costs approximately 150 to 200,000. So those are the facts that you have. The land is 6.5. She needs 325 deposit. Her closing cost is 100 to 200,000, and she can get 7 million from NHT combined come July 1. Now, when Anne checked her account and realized that she only have 105,000.
She or them?
Two of them.
Two of them.
Only 105,000. And them need 325,000 for the deposit. They're currently paying a rent of 150,000 per month. Now I want you to tell me, write it in the chat. Together, all of us must come up with 10 ways Anna and Tim can use her resourcefulness, or I should say their resourcefulness, and find the balance of money to find a deposit and closing cost to purchase the land. As you think of something, put it in the chat. So, Tony, you're going to start putting it in your phone, or we go through them at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, she needs 325,000. The land is 6.5. And she's giving her the 7 million. So really and truly, she really only need to find the 325,000 plus the closing costs. Right, Tony?
Mm-hmm.
So put it in the chat while we go through.
Well, she needs to find 420, right?
Somewhere there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tony, have an update on Palmetto Pines? You have any update? So we're selling Palmetto Pines. We still haven't gotten our office on site. I'm hoping it's going to be there this week. But remember, you can go to the website. The lots are there. The price is there. Is there anybody here who have already signed up for Palmetto Pines? Anybody has been to the location? You can put it in the chat. So Palmetto Pines lots are 6.5. That's the cheapest lot. It's going to be gated. It will have some courts in there. So it will have a lawn tennis court, basketball court, a netball court.
6-a-side football field.
And a 6-a-side football field.
And a jogging trail.
And a jogging trail. Those of you who love sports, game changer. It will also have a kiddies play area. Another game changer. I saw one of those kiddies things in Richmond the other day. Man, the thing was a work of art.
I saw one in, where was I? The townhouse section of Camelot.
Oh,
those
yeah, nice.
Too.
Yeah, man. Nice. Well, Camelot, we probably need to put one of those in. It's on one of the parks. Really nice. The children would just love it, you know? So Palmetto Pines, if you want to ask me any questions about it, you can now.
Oh, people are answering the question.
Okay, what are they saying?
Okay, so Nakisha says, ask family.
Yeah, ask family, that's one.
Mm-hmm. Sophia says, closing costs only get paid in full at the end of the transaction, about 3 to 4 months. Start with what they have. Rose says, moving with the parents or in laws. Hope Lynch said, borrow from families, sell some of her worldly goods. Yeah, like they could probably, oh, we don't let them have a motor vehicle or anything like that.
Yeah, sell some of the worldly goods.
Rose says somebody can take a second job
Right.
in a short term.
Uh-huh. And the more, that's 4. We need to get to 10, guys.
Sophia says, plus the full deposit amount only gets paid at the end. You don't need to pay over all deposits until the end. Work, spend less, and save like a maniac. They could
You need at least 5% in the beginning.
Somebody's passport says borrow from your insurance.
Right.
Yeah. Or you could take, since it's a land development, it's gonna take about a year to build. You could probably get a short-term loan. If you don't have any other loans right now, pay that off in the year. Use that for the deposit, pay that off in the year, so that when it's time to get an NHT loan, you've already cleared that loan.
Right. Good one. That's at 6 a year so far. So we're trying to get up to 10. All right. So while they're still put it in the chat, we need to get 10 ways for them to get the money. Let's look at the National Land Agency's website and all the things, some of the things you can do on the site. Let's go to the site. So remember, everybody, resourcefulness is what's going to make the difference if you fail or succeed. Bishop, brokers don't charge the purchaser. If you want a broker, let me know. Send me on WhatsApp and I'll send you the mortgage brokers. Bishop, or my number is 292-6776. Beverly says credit unions, yes. Rose says getting a partner and take the early draw. Yes, Rose, clever. Passport life. Going with another contributor, yes. You want all resourceful, man. You see, not so difficult. Once you put on the thinking cap. All right, so
we're here.
National Land Agency. Not here yet.
You're trying to look good. To the Moser.
Catch up with me, yeah. So the NLA price list. So NLA gives you some services, right? Valuation rule information, to view index maps, to identify parcel number of adjoining owners on the same enclosure plan, to obtain valuation rule information on adjoining parcels. They do all of those things. It's not just about finding the property. They also do application to register land. Although I don't like their system. I prefer to go through GeoLand. But I'm just letting you know that you can also apply for application to register land using National Land Agency. To register land meaning that you don't have any title, right? And you want to try get a title. So you can do that as well. All right, Tony, let's get back, show them how they can find a parcel using your volume folio. So let's just say you have a property, or some of you will have a property with maybe only the valuation number. So you will accept the terms and conditions. Did they see where you go a while ago? You go to search, go to parcel. So it comes up with those headings: title, parcel, documents, civic features, and so on. You go to parcel. Then if you have the valuation number, which is the number on your tax paper, you will select that and put in a number. If you have the volume and folio, you select volume and folio. If you only know the street, you put in the address. If you know the scheme, put in the address. So let us put in an address or scheme. See if Whitewater Meadows have any. At 20. So there is a lot. Well, 520 Whitewater Meadows. So see, come up here. So if you didn't know what the title was, but you know the address, you put in the address. And here's the title: 1332808. And here's the property tax number. So if you want to know your property tax number, you have the address for your property, you can put in the address. This box comes up. So this is 520 Whitewater Meadows. The street is Whitewater Boulevard. The size of the lot is 502 square meters. If you want it in square feet, multiply by roughly 10. So it will be 5,000 square feet, which some of the lots at Palmetto Pines are about 5,000 square feet. Mm-hmm. The title, this will be the title: volume 1332. And the ice cream man is here. Volume 1332, folio 808. This is the valuation number. This number at the top is a tax number. So if you did not have your tax number, you don't have your title. All right. If you don't have your title, so let us say the bank have your title. You have never seen your title, but you want to see a copy of your title. You go here. When it comes up, you can buy it. See, would you like to purchase related documents? You click buy. Screen is gonna change. No. Change. No. Tony, the internet failing him.
I don't know what's happening. See there? It didn't fail me, but this thing didn't. There.
All right. So the documents you can buy. You can buy the title. You can buy the valuation roll report, but you're not interested in that. You're interested in title. So you select title, add select to cart, and then you proceed with whatever. So it's $500, right? And you can proceed to checkout.
Right. You need to register.
Register.
I think I'm probably already logged in, but yeah.
Yeah, we're already logged in, but you would need to register your account. What you register in your account and your card?
Yeah, it's just your email address basically, and they'll send you a password. And all reset the password.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go back. So if you only had the tax paper, we can't find a tax paper.
Just copy the one that they have.
Come back. You have the old one down here? No, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. No, I just copy their tax number.
All right, so remember I showed you how the tax came up, right? So you can now go to, so the valuation number is your tax number, your property tax number. So now you can use that number and go on the property tax portal. Type in property tax. Once when come on, because we've gone it all the time. But tax admin, you have a property tax query.
This doesn't feel like it though.
And you put in the submit.
Is that it?
It's in green.
Yeah, that's why I know that's not it. I'll never see what I did.
So this number they gave us belongs to the government.
It's actually the National Land Agency.
Right. It's a National Land Agency where their offices is at Arden Road, 8 Arden Road, Commissioner of Lands. When you see a property mark Commissioner of Lands, that's a government property, right? You see if them pay them tax.
Do they charge tax to themselves?
I don't think so. No, you know, them never pay tax. But this will tell you. So it tells you the value of this land is 80 million. So your value is right there, right? According to the tax rule, it's not according to market value. It's for the purposes of them calculating your tax that they would have put a value there, right? So don't look at it and say, oh, but the land don't value 80 million, you sell me for 120 million. No. So this will give you the summary. It will tell you how much taxes you owe and so on. And you can also click and pay the taxes. So I'm not ready to pay any tax. So you see how Jamaica get modern, everybody. All right, you can shoot your questions again. We have 4 minutes. So the National Land, what was the website?
nla.gov.jm.
Right. You can go on it if you want to buy a title. You want to know what your valuation number is so that you can go on the tax portal and pay your taxes. You can also click, oh, you should have showed them what them can click on the map and click on them neighbor property. So when you're on the map, you can click on anybody's property, right? You want to know something, you can click on it. How much it costs to get a copy of the title? $500 once you go onto the portal. Please, if I have a number, up number. What's this? What's the question from Beverly?
Beverly. Please, if you have a WhatsApp number.
Oh, 292-6776. All right, you are all very resourceful today.
You can get to 10.
Go back to the PowerPoint. Let me see.
You want them to see it?
Yeah, go back to the PowerPoint. I think I made a list of 10. So if you want to ask questions, we have 3 minutes still. Did we answer all the questions? Somebody said get a roommate. Yes. So if it says talk is cheap, action is required. Winston says, good point, Winston. He brings home what I said, very good. He says, there are only 2 resources, natural resources and human resources. That's why companies have HR departments. Very good. So you need in your own strategy, your own family, what are the natural resources that we have access to and what are the human resources that we have access to? And with the human resources, what are the strengths that I can use? What are the weaknesses that I might have to deal with? You have to do that. It's at the end. All right. What's the difference between a sales broker and a salesman? So I'm a sales broker. I'm a realtor or a real estate broker.
You're also called a real estate dealer.
Dealer, right? So that's a higher level. So the real estate broker is a person who runs or who is licensed to run a real estate company, right? And Tony would be a real estate salesman, so she would work for a broker like me. If she wants to be a broker, she would need to go back to school, do an exam, be attached to a broker, will train her to be a broker, and then she'll get a broker license. And that attachment is for a minimum of 1 year. All right, so these are the answers I had. 1, take a demand loan for the difference. So she has 100K already. So she need about another 200 or 300,000. She can walk into the bank, take a demand loan. I think Tony, you said this. Take a demand loan, try and pay it off within a year before the development is finished and before our NHT tripping. 2, Check your contribution refund towards deposit balance. Contribution refund towards deposit. That's what it's called. So you check that balance at the National Housing Trust. They will give you back that money to pay as part of your deposit or closing costs. And it is not just contribution refund, it's called contribution refund towards deposit, right? You also can check your life insurance policies for cash value and dividends. Somebody said that.
Yeah.
But what you're checking for is cash value or dividends. That way you don't have to pay back anything. You just pull off the money and go use it. Some persons have monies in them children's savings plans. Go and pull it and use it. We don't know if these children are going to the university. We can't say for them if they go to university and we don't own a house, guys. Right? Worse if them all 5 and 6. Who said as they've not gone to university? How would I be saving? No. Need that. Better you buy the house or buy the piece of land and put it down. When them reach university, you can sell that and use the money, send them if they really want to go. 5, ask each family member in your contact list for a loan. Then you do overtime or second job to repay. Who said this one? You said this one to Tony?
No.
Somebody said this on the chat. Yeah. So you ask each family member. Or you can ask each family member in your contact list for a gift or a grant. Don't have to be a loan. It can be a gift. Call up your baby father foreign. Or call up your ex-baby father foreign.
And when you think about it, you only need 300,000. You can get 25,000 off some family members.
Yeah. And it's not one family member giving you all that money.
No, it's
you call up each of them. How much you can give me? 10,000? Yeah. 20,000? Yeah. Every make a moko. Call them up and gather it. Right? Ask friends in your contact list for a loan, do overtime or second job to pay. Yes. You can also ask your boss for a cash advance or a loan. So I've used that with other persons where I've told them to ask the boss a cash advance or a loan and they went and they got it. Right? Sell the furniture. Somebody said that. Sell all your worldly possessions. And I was buying my first house, I did that. Because they hit me with an escalation. I think it was 25,000 at the time. Couldn't afford it. Somebody just sell out everything and get the money.
Okay.
And you can move to a cheaper place. Somebody said that when they said moving back with your parents or something like that.
Yeah.
Or get a roommate. So you're trying to bring down your expenses, like the 150,000 rent that you're paying. You bring that down to maybe 50,000. That we have 100,000 extra every month. In 3 months, you have 200,000. All right, so those are my 10, everybody. All right, any more questions for me? How do you go about getting an appraisal? Regular evaluators. You can send me a WhatsApp and I'll send you one. You have to ask your evaluator. But it's you doing the valuation. It's your house. So it's a buyer must do the valuation, not you.
Or they want to value before they sell it. What's that mean?
Oh, you want to value before you sell it, Alexa. All right. WhatsApp me, I send you a evaluator number.
Our gated community is the future of housing. It seems to be the only option developers are pursuing locally in Jamaica and abroad.
It is because of the crime. That's a short answer.
No,
persons feel safer in the gated, actually.
Catherine Estates was just built and it's non-gated.
Where's Catherine Estates? It's a low income, Tony. 5.5.
What was 5.5?
The house. Agreed 7.5 now.
Oh.
Low income. I don't think them can afford the gated.
Alexa Sky, do you mean a valuer? Just got mine done last week. If you only want to know the value of the land or the house, you will need a valuator letter.
Or what's called an opinion of value. So when I give you the value number, ask them how to cost for opinion of value as opposed to a full valuation. Yeah, persons just want to know that when you negate it to enforce, you have to do certain things together. You know, like you have to work together. So you have to form a HOA association. You have to pay towards the maintenance of the grounds and all of that. It makes for a more cohesive community. It does.
Mhm. I just like the fact that your guests are announced before they come.
Oh, yeah, kind of. They can't just drive up to your gate and knock on your door.
And not even that, but even just strangers
Mm,
driving through the community.
right. So, yeah, you feel a little bit more secure when you're sleeping at night. You can't sleep with the window and so on.
I don't
It still has to be grilled though, guys. Don't matter things it not for grill, not for grill.
Yes, that still has to be
Yeah, it
grilled.
still has to be grilled. Any more questions? Let me see the phone.
No, that's it. We're actually finished. We're at the end of the program.
Oh, Alexa answers. What's my WhatsApp? 2926776. They want to buy a house for 20 million. I'm not sure if it costs that much. What do you mean?
They want to purchase my house for 20 million. I'm not sure if it costs that much before I start selling it to them.
So wait in the house value less? And 20 million?
I don't think I've ever heard a homeowner say that.
Mm-hmm. Where's this house? Which parish this?
Alexa, where's your property? First thing, the value of your house is what someone is willing to pay for it. If you're really selling it.
Right. Beverly, my number is 2926776. It's in Cromarty.
Where's that?
Oh, that's Spanish Town.
Where's Cromarty?
Spanish Town. It's at the back of, when I exit the toll, going to Spanish, the roundabout at Olaba Road. It's on that scheme on the left before you reach the roundabout.
Oh, she thinks it valued at 25 million. Oh, that makes more sense.
Oh.
That makes more sense.
Right. So ask for an opinion of value. Just send me the WhatsApp, I'll give you the value number. All right, everybody. Looks like we're done.
Yes.
No more questions. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come here today. And again, I must apologize for being late. I'm trying to get that under control next week. Well, I'm handing over the property on Tuesday.
Right.
So I should have that challenge next week. But
I think this is the first time you're late.
Yeah, it's the first time. All right, everybody. So we hope to start the book club soon. Still trying to work around the logistics and the timing and so on. And part of getting out these other little projects that I have going is part of it, so to get them out of the way. But thank you again. Happy Sunday. Going off to your Sunday dinner now? Good. So are we.
Oh, Alexa says, do you think I should do the appraisal first? Or let the buyers do it?
You can't let the buyers do it. I usually let the buyers do it. I usually ask my price and let the buyers go do them appraisal. You say you want 25 million, they might offer 20, fine. But go do an appraisal. They will do their appraisal. Worse, if they're going through the bank, they have to do their appraisal.
Okay.
But you might get a bad appraisal. Sometimes you're selling a property and the value will come back with a low value. You wonder if he was smoking. But if you think you value 25, just ask that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah. Have a good weekend.